Yeah. Okay, I think we're just about to start. But yeah, and we're back now.
Oh, like they can actually hear us?
Yeah, everyone
no.
can hear us. You are now live.
We can't talk about the memes anymore.
Oh man, have to keep our meme games on the DL.
Man, that Harasym guy really carried the game last game.
Yeah, Harasym was just on fire that game. His Jax was absolutely disgusting.
Godlike. And then legendary. Alright, so let's look at how Houston will adjust the draft here. I don't think the Kindred will be picked again. Or maybe I could be wrong here and they really felt like it was working and they just need to answer the Nasus instead.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what kind of adjustments they make with the Malzahar ban coming out first.
Yeah, same thing so far. Yeah, both teams have opted for the same bans. I believe Ezreal was the second ban here for Houston. And on the other side, I believe was Thresh and Lee Sin. So we'll decide it's the same thing. Oh, they found Sejuani was the problem. And that was a first pick for U of M. So we'll have to see what U of M decides to take. Same band so far overall, though. Thresh coming right in. And will they think Orianna was a problem or the Jax is a problem? Well, they definitely know Jax was a problem, but what was it a result of the macro and decision-making? Or was it really like the player on the champion? And we'll be able to tell with this next ban here. Or if they decide not to pick the top lane and save a top lane pick for last, counter pick and maybe target ban in the second phase. But nope, they decide to get rid of the Jax. So this is going to be a new game, more or less, or a new draft. So U of M going to have to do a little bit of adjusting here for the jungle and the top laner. So exact same bans coming up from the U of M as well.
Yeah, if it works, why change it? I guess is the U of M's thinking behind it. So we'll just have to see what they prioritize here with their picks.
Yeah, first pick here. They could take the Ezreal. Oh no, they decided to take the Vayne.
Ooh, I like this.
I mean, bot lane was doing pretty decent overall. Like, they didn't lose their lane. In fact, they got Hong Fam to roam to another lane and pick up a kill. So bot lane, I'd say, would, you know, they gained a little bit more on the map than U of M bot lane did, just by a little bit. Like, they didn't lose the lane outright, but in terms of the team macro, like, they got more out of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. The U of M bot lane, although they didn't do anything, they just had to do what they needed to do. They farmed out, they held the lane steady until their other lanes were able to get advantages elsewhere and play it around the bot side of the map eventually. So we'll just have to see. The U of M is very versatile with their different styles, whether it's Harasym carrying from the top lane or Zed from the bot lane. They have a lot of weapons here that they can utilize. So we'll just have to see what picks. And it's an interesting couple picks going on. We don't really see any front line at all so far. What do you think about that?
I think they're going to have to look for another engage or a jungler that's just tanky. In my opinion, I think it's hard to play an assassin, high damage skirmishy jungler unless tanks are just, you know, complete garbage in the jungle. But we see a lot of stuff like Zac and whatnot as well in the jungle. So yeah. Maybe Gragas or you know, just other examples of tank junglers.
Yeah,
more bans coming out.
Seen kind of a dive this last patch, but we'll just have to see. We also have Mel Life back on her traditional Karma. Hopefully that's the skin that's going to be used, but we'll just have to see. Rek'Sai ban coming out. Very interesting.
I think both teams are going to have to look for an engaged top laner or jungler. So something the likes of Ornn or what other top lane? Like you can even pick. No, Gangplank is banned. I was about to suggest that, and never mind. But
Ornn, Gnar maybe.
Yeah, Gnar, or you take well, Zac just got banned out. As well to just suggest that you could take Gragas. Something you definitely need engage. You want something to wombo combo with the Orianna. You need some CC because right now U of M does not have any CC, and overall I actually like the draft coming from Houston more than I like from U of M. But it all comes to a rounded point with whatever they decide to pick for mid and top, or jungle and top.
Exactly. We'll just have to see what this front line's going to look like. But one interesting thing we might see out here is we might see something like a Jace pickup here. I think would be really interesting. That's something I'd like to see from Harasym.
And that would really make the team composition squishy, really squishy, but high damage on the front line on U of M's side. I'd still rather opt into a tank here. Oh, Ivern, is this actually going to happen? No, I'm going to look for damage. Okay, so this is still a really squishy team coming out from U of M. The top lane has to be a tank. Maokai wouldn't even be too bad either.
Yeah.
Maokai or Ornn. I really like those choices right about now. And we'll see what Houston decides to opt in with, and they're hovering the Maokai. So you're kind of deciding, well, which tank do I want to play? Thinking. So I really like what Houston has right now. Now they're gonna have to like figure out what they want for their jungler. No, I don't know about Elise.
Yeah, Elise just isn't in a very good spot right now. She hasn't been in a good spot for a couple patches now, but we'll have to see if Kim does decide to lock this in, and it looks like...
Ooh, Graves, yeah, I love it.
The Graves, I absolutely love that pick as well.
And
really nice heat pump coming over from University of Houston.
He just got buffed in the last patch as well, so... What is it? His Q does more damage? Or lower cooldown?
I believe they took down the cooldown of it and slightly up the damage. They did both, I believe. Oh.
Okay. All right, so this is U of M kind of styling, or trying to style anyways, but I actually really like this Graves pickup here. Like when you quick draw forward, they change it so that you only get armor and not armor and MR. And seeing as it's a Kha'Zix jungle and a Camille top, like, and an Ezreal ADCs, so you do have a lot of AD on the U of M side, so that quick draw is just going to be extra value. Picking up Death Dance or PD, like if Graves becomes really strong in your mid game comes by, he's going to be such a huge threat, and you become kind of like a second bruiser frontliner for Houston. So overall, I think Houston's draft here is actually better. They can knock a front line down, but U of M doesn't even have a front line. So if team fights for U of M are going to be like, did we kill someone? No, well, we can't team fight because none of us can really stand at front and, soak up the damage. I'd say that if Houston gets a small lead here, or if Maokai gets to root anyone, that guy is probably going to die. Like, it's going to be turning a root into seismic shove, and then that guy's just dead. That person's squishy, they're dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage from both sides here, but the University of Houston does have that late game with that Maokai, so we'll have to see how they play the map. I imagine they're definitely going to want some sort of macro-style game coming from the University of Manitoba, but if they can get ahead, and if UMB Slade can get ahead on that Kha'Zix jungle, then he has proven that he can carry games before.
And I'd say, like, other than the blunder in the jungle and dying to Kim at his red buff in the last game, like, he did a pretty damn good job overall. Like, he got that kill onto Hugh plays under the tower in mid lane, allowing to pick up a kill, and I think he got a tower off of that as well, but they're already going to get first blood tower on the top side. So 2 towers went down instead of 1, and yeah, he did an excellent job in the last game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
kind of sad, unfortunately. I thought we were going to see the Riven pick from Harasym from before. He used to be a Riven player way back in the day in Season 5 and Season 4.
But was he good, though?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure he peaked around, like, Diamond or something like that. He definitely wasn't a bad Riven.
The spicy D5 Riven mains.
Shout out to all the Riven mains out there. God bless you all.
I mean no harm. But yeah, anyways, so if Hugh plays, he's probably going to have this lane pushed for the most part until about level 7, when Orianna can just clear the back wave pretty quickly. But I would say Hugh plays is going to have the lane shoved for until the ultimates come up, and he can probably make a play on the map with Weaver's Wall, go top lane, but Camille should be able to get out pretty easily. But if bot lane, if Karma has no flash, she's not gonna get away from that one. And like Weaver's Wall with the Vayne Condemn on top of that, like you're just dead. You have to have flash. So I think visiting bot lane with Kim and Hugh plays would be huge. Maokai with a bunch of CC. However, if UofM does manage to snowball with their extremely high damage composition, and kind of like in the last game, if Harasym becomes too strong for Stormskillz to really handle the Camille damage, then it's gonna pretty much spell the same result. But no range CC or engage coming out from UofM, other than the Meal hook shot stun into Shockwave? Question mark? Yes, this appears to be the combo. Not quite as majestic as a combo as last time.
No, nowhere near that, but I think they're definitely going to look to play a different style of game here. They're going to look to very pick-oriented, very skirmishy, I find, but you don't want those full-on team fights because the University of Houston has a way better comp when it comes to these team fights.
Yeah, they need a skirmish and snowball for U of M. Houston just wants to scale with Vayne, Graves, tanky frontliner, and you have Lulu to really accelerate either of them with Ardent Sensor, or just like putting shields, so like they both benefit from attack speed, so if one carry dies, you still have the other one to go and support. Yeah, Houston definitely has the superior comp here. In terms of win conditions, they have more win conditions at all phases of the game, whereas U of M, they definitely lose the late game.
Yeah, for sure. We'll just have to see if Stormskillz can hold its own against Harasym here. Yeah,
I think he should have learned his lesson from last game, just with a little bit more respect. I'm not too sure in terms of who will be having the early push and priority of that lane. I imagine it would be Camille that gets the better push. Mm-hmm. Just because more AD. What was that?
Camille definitely gets that stronger push early just because of the trading potential, and it just scales up there, so they definitely want to look to just keep that scaling going.
Yeah, and she usually just rushes at Tiamat as well, so she'll get that push and have a priority for the majority of that.
Exactly.
And we'll see if either jungler decides to go with a challenging smite this time, or will they both opt into the tracker's knives for both players and just go for heavier vision. But as far as I know, Slade definitely opts into trackers way more often. He just values that vision and tracking the enemy jungler way more than just some skirmishing potential.
Exactly, yeah. And in competitive, compared to solo queue, I think in solo queue it's perfectly okay to go skirmishers just because you want to always look to... It's just a different kind of game, but with competitive, you need that vision. You need to know where the enemy jungler is. It's the information that you have is just too invaluable. So we'll just see, but anything is possible. I have seen UMB Slade opt to take skirmishers or even Stalker's Blade sometimes in some of these games, but we'll just have to see what their goal is and what the University of Manitoba wants to do with this game.
So it looks like both junglers want to start on the top side of the map. Kha'Zix or Slade hovering over his red, and Kim hovering over his blue. So we might see some action mid lane or in the bot side. Lulu has some decent follow-up with some slows, but the only person you're probably going to catch is Karma, if anyone. And probably not Ezreal, just too darn slippery.
Yeah.
But for push-wise, if they're using their abilities on the wave, I think the lane priority is pretty even. It really depends on how they position. If Lulu's by the minion wave, and Karma shoots the Q. It hits the minion wave on top of hitting Lulu. Like, yay, it pays off. And it looks like they want to try and bush him here. Hongfang going to take a lot of damage, being forced to flash early. There goes a little, taking a little bit of minion aggro here, but yeah, that's a flash burn for that early cheese, that delicious cheddar cheese.
So good, but yeah, that's definitely going to cost them in this early game. We'll have to see. Vayne opted to go with that relic shield early as well, so there's going to be no trading from this bot lane, and that's really going to hurt them, I think, early on.
Well,
So
they will get the health regen and the Targon's procs from Vayne, so it's going to help a little bit with their sustain, but because of that, no flash, they lose the push, so now they have no lane priority for bot lane, and U of M will have the first push, and if Slade decides to go into the river and try and mess with Kim on the red side, he definitely will be able to do that. And yeah, as I said, Camille does win that push as she's pushing up right now, but since both junglers did start on the top end, pretty sure that they're not going to see the jungler anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think so. A little bit of trading going on in the mid lane as well.
Stormskillz kind of losing out on this one. He actually is pretty much has no HP. He has the summoner heal, and Hugh plays more or less full health, but gonna bait in, and Hugh plays being forced to flash. There's the red slow. Will it be enough? Oh, I think Slade could have flashed and went for one more auto there, but no. But actually, no. Hugh plays has barrier, so would have got jebaited. Not worth.
Yeah, definitely don't want to fall for that kind of play. It's very smart. UMB Slade burn the flash and hope that he can come back later because Stormskillz
this is kind of really bad. This is actually kind of bad for Houston right now. All three of their lanes are getting shoved in. Top lane is getting shoved in. Mid lane just had their flash burned and losing. Oh, Sprinkles. Harasym take it 2 tower shots, but Slade, he's looking at. Oh, and Stormskillz dropping down real low. That goes to summoner heal, and Slade sitting in the brush here looking for a tower dive. But Slade's going to have to be the one to jump in first. But Sprinkles can drop his root. And there goes the hook shot there. Flash forward as well. Harasym going to go down. But that's a trade. However, Harasym picks up first blood. And no assist for Slade. So Slade kind of just wasting his time up there. He's there. It's like, hey, buddy, you can do it. I'm here for moral support. I didn't actually get an assist. But maybe I'll suck up some EXP for my troubles.
Yeah,
on the other side.
It's a little rushed, I think, here, but we'll just have to. It's a little rushed. I think Harasym could have maybe slowed it down a little bit. That flash was quite ambitious, but he does get the first blood overall, so it is in favor of Harasym, and he does get to pick up that Sheen early on, which is very strong on Camille.
But on the other side, there is a Bramble Vest on the Maokai, so it's going to help out a lot. And yeah, he can just build so much armor. And at some point, he will just more or less be unkillable in team fights. So I think even trading kills is definitely a benefit to Houston overall, because if you just get to late game and you just trade kills all day, like they just scale better. So it's in the interest of Houston that even a trade of kills is still beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to look to get that scaling game going.
And if you can win early, then that'd be great. Sprinkles level 5 here, fighting with Harasym, but Slade coming right in, and Sprinkles now in a lot of trouble. He's probably going to die. He does not have flash, but mid and jungle are coming in. There's a splash from Slade, and I think that's going to be the end of it. That's a kill for the Kazakhs, and that's not good. They were pretty much fighting in the tribe rush over a ward, and you can't really greed out for those kind of things.
Yeah, it was really risky. Without vision of Slade as well, it just leads to a very risky play. Even though he did have Q plays and Kim rotating, it just wasn't enough and just wasn't in time.
Kim going on to Stormskillz a little bit here, just to put out some damage. Ooh, Kim, if he had decided to shortcut over into the other side of the jungle, could have been some bad news, as Slade is over that wall. Opted against it, decided not to just get lazy and take some shortcuts. Take the safe and smart way out.
Yeah, one thing I do want to note, though, is that even though whenever we pan over and it seems that Stormskillz is taking a bad trade, he still is up CS in that mid lane as well, which is proving to be pretty big. He's already has a 10 CS lead right now, and we'll just have to see what happens, and gets hit by another skill shot as well.
Yeah, he's kind of dropping down on HP quite often, and it's a lost chapter on Talia. So the longer that goes on, like yeah, Stormskillz is just out of mana, whereas Talia is pretty much full mana with a lost chapter still. So Stormskillz is gonna have to go back here. Yeah, you see him porting on the map right now, and Qplays is level 6, so maybe he can look for a roam on maybe onto bot side here. As Zev is pretty low, Mel Life still full HP, does have the flash though, and the lane is pushing for Houston, so that looks like a pretty prime time to just go for that gank. But Kim is on the other side of the map. Maybe they'll opt to try and gank the top side instead. Yeah, Huplay is looking to go bot right now. He's making his way down. We'll have to see if he decides to use the Weaver's Wall. So he is there. Will the Weaver's Wall go down? And yeah, there it is. Mel Life gonna have. There's a polymorph, but will she have to flash away? Oh, she actually burst the flash a little too early. I believe she passed over the wall, and it passed her forward to try and go around the wall instead. And wasn't quite expecting to end up in that position. But Slade comes in. There goes the wild growth, and Slade just gonna take a bit of damage. Should be able to get out. Yeah, Seismic Shove does actually land, but he's still gonna be able to get out. And Houston actually with quite a few plays there gets a kill onto Zev and Mel Life as well. So bot lane gonna go down, and I believe they pick up a kill onto Harasym as well. Yeah, he does have one death. Oh no, he actually got away. Otherwise he would have 2 deaths.
No, he did end up dying in that gank there. He ended up falling.
Didn't they trade kills in the first blood? So he should have 2 deaths?
Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah.
So he did end up getting away. And he has his flash still. So I guess in the top side, nothing much happened, just kind of forced Harasym to back away. But still, that is 2 kills, as I kind of predicted, as a spectator, Man, I'm a genius.
So smart,
anyway.
Wow.
Oh, shockwave play, but I don't think this is something that Stormskillz can win. But Huplays is out of mana. Stormskillz continuing to press forward, but he is out of summoner spells and taking a minion wave as well. If either jungler was there, yeah, if Kim is just kind of hiding around the corner, waiting, rubbing his hands together, it's like, good, come over here, yes.
The collateral damage just a little bit off cooldown, but yeah, this is been a very, very volatile mid lane. But there's still that CS lead on Stormskillz, so Qplays definitely needs to focus a bit more on his CSing skills a little bit, because he is falling quite a bit behind, and even though he does have a kill, gold compared to the 2 is actually Stormskillz is a little ahead.
Yeah, so I think the next play here is probably going to be Huplays. He's just waiting for that Weaver's Wall. Would be an excellent time to visit bot lane again, like now they have no flashes for sure, so, and UofM, they're still kind of pushing up a lot as well, and they don't really have vision in the tri-brush as well, and Stormskillz has gone back. What's the cooldown on Huplays Weaver's Wall? So in 45 seconds, probably going to look to go bot lane, if anything. Oh, but top lane, Sprinkles getting jumped on a little bit. Nah, I think this is just like some friendly trading, you know, I want to hit you, you want to hit me, I want to trade some damage. And yeah, they're just deciding to go right in here. Zev taking a lot of damage. Oh, the flash condemn into the wall. Zev taking a lot of damage, being forced to flash, and he's gonna get critted for the last auto. Hong Fam didn't need the flash there, but he just wanted to secure the kill. Oh, Mel Life gonna face check into Kim here. Takes some damage. And now Slade is on the top side of the map as well, so can't really get anything done here. Want to go for a dive, but oh, there is a broken stopwatch, so he has already used the stopwatch for Sprinkle.
Yeah. It looks like UMB Slade just hovering around this mid lane right now, expecting some action to go on here.
Ooh, Kim's gonna run into Stormskillz here, and Stormskillz in a lot of trouble. There goes the buckshot, not giving enough. Will the challenge spike damage tick down? It will not be enough. Slade now gonna have to be forced to run away. Oh, I don't know about that one. Kim just deciding to dash forward, and Slade thinking, what's this guy doing? I'm just gonna Q an auto attack, and while in stealth, full isolation as well, so could have definitely been just a disengage, but decides to throw a kill at Slade instead. Not what to look for.
Yeah.
But Weaver's Wall is up for Hughes' plays.
Exactly. Ends up missing that collateral damage on probably a free kill onto Stormskillz there, and ends up just eating a command attack dissonance combo, and UMB Slade just turns around and picks up the free kill.
So while I think Houston, the idea that Houston had with the gank with Kim there, it was excellent. It was well timed, but at the end of the day, like, it comes down to the execution. Like, you can have all the best ideas you like, but if you don't do them properly, it's just not gonna work out. So I'd say the execution wasn't quite there. Good ideas, good planning. Oh, the jump, the damage will be enough, and there goes the ult. Will it be enough? Oh, he's gonna take flash forward as well. Not gonna be enough. Sprinkles gonna flex on him a little bit, and that's the result of the ultimate nerf on Camille. That duration used to be 4 seconds, but now it scales with the level of the ult. And it just really shows that Stormskillz still battling with Hugh plays. Barrier comes down, eats the whole entire barrier, still continue to press on. Hugh plays gonna be in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack, will it be enough? The Q distance forward picks up the kill, but now Kim wants to try and trade it back. There goes the collateral damage, picks up the kill as well, and that is a 1-for-1. Kim, I don't think he wants to fight that one. Kind of learned his lesson from last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Slade is very strong right now as well. Definitely not a fight he wants to pick, but
Kim does have a level advantage. Bot lane, more or less winning just a tiny little bit in CS. Does have the kill. Oh, and Slade deciding to fight with Kim here. This is a full isolation, being forced to flash away. Very nicely done there. So that's a flash down for Kim. It's gonna set him back a little bit. However, Hugh plays from the fountain, going straight to bot lane here. He's gonna look for a play. Tri-brush is warded. So this the placement of the Weaver's Wall is going to be a big deal here. Slade is on the bot side of the map and is probably going to stay around the bot side of the map now that blue is spawning really soon. So if he does collapse in time and Martin's looking to engage, there goes the Weaver's Wall. Will Mel Life get out in time? Yes, she does. And now he just arcane shifts over. Yeah, he just gets out really easily. So very nicely done, just getting out of the way in time. Not having to blow a flash. And that allows Stormskillz to just push up and get some tower damage.
Yeah, and he's still increasing his CS lead on who he plays right now. He's up about 30 CS right now, and if you look over at the gold, he's up almost 1.5k right now just in the mid lane. And even though University of Houston is up 2 kills, it's making this gold lead very close.
And that was, I don't even know when the heck that dragon got taken. Apparently it died 2 minutes ago, and it completely didn't click with my mind. So that is an Infernal Dragon, and that's extremely beneficial to the all damage comp. I'm pretty sure Harasym... Oh, that's a root. I think Harasym's actually dead here. Oh, hookshot comes out. Will be enough. Cloud damage, not enough. Yeah, I wasn't too sure if he could actually pick up that kill there, or... I don't think they would have been able to kill Harasym there. Sure enough. But they will be able to get the first blood tower, it seems, for Houston, so it's looking real good over here. Maybe they'll pick up the Rift Herald as well. Dragon is down, and Merton's just being so aggressive. There goes a polyball for the Mel Life, and she's getting chunked down so much. 2 more auto attacks won't be enough, but that is some lane priority that's going to go back in favor for Houston.
Yeah, this Vayne is getting very scary very fast, and I don't know if the University of Manitoba ball lane can keep up with this Vayne. We'll just have to see exactly what their answer is going to be for it, and what lane assignments they're going to do after this first tower has fallen.
I think that's another Infernal is going to be popping up, so I think they're going to want to try and keep their bot lane nearby. I don't think they will trade it for mid lane. It really is kind of up to the decision of the team. Like, you can really put them in any lane, but preferably mid or bot, because you don't want to be too far from the dragon that's going to be spawning in about 3 minutes. Or you can try and prioritize Rift Herald and then use that and then go for the drag afterwards so that the other team has to deal with the Rift Herald. But for now, it looks like Harasym kind of lost out on that trade. The Thorn Mail and Ninja Tabby really kicking in, and just it's making life a little hard for Harasym. Stormskillz gonna kind of check into Kim here. Kim taking a decent amount of damage. Shockwave is not up. He's sitting in the smokescreen and he's gonna go for the duel. And not even, it was kind of close, but Hong Fat, blocks the Karma Q for the Lulu, and Lulu actually does manage to get away. Hugh plays coming in now. bunch of damage. Sasha shove comes in. Root going on the Hugh plays, being forced to flash. And Camille, oh man, there's a five-man UofM squad trying to come in. Oh, Martins! Martins! Tick!
Oh, Zev with the pickup. Oh.
Man, what a bloodfest. And Houston actually loses 4 members for just Slade. Oh, tower shot. But yeah, 4 members down for Houston. Only Lulu actually gets out of that one alive. So a huge win there for Manitoba there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to end up taking a tower off this, and with Dragon coming up in a minute, they can look to prioritize the vision around there. But one thing that they need to answer is they need to answer this top lane as well, and they don't have a teleport currently, so we'll see what they choose to do with it.
Dragon spawning in 40 seconds. Harasym no TP, probably looking to knock the wave back a little bit. Neither teams actually has TP. Weaver's Wall going to be probably play a huge part in this Dragon, as you can just zone out a part of the team. You just dropped what's that thing? Oh man, I'm gonna look at Talia's abilities. Unraveled Earth?
Unraveled Earth is her.
Oh yeah, so you can use you use Unraveled Earth, you throw it at a choke point, you throw Weaver's Wall on the other choke point, and you know, Dragon just kind of becomes free. Like, who's gonna face check and walk through the choke point? You don't have a tank. And that's, now it's gonna, it can only get, I guess not only get better, but it mostly gets better for Houston from here on out in terms of scaling.
Mm-hmm. And I really like this pickup from Harasym as well. I kind of wish he had prioritized the Vampiric Scepter maybe a little bit earlier too, and I may have gone Sheen Vampiric Scepter instead.
Oh, Slade is on the Infernal Dragon. It's going to come down to Smite Battle, and Kim picks it up, and will he pick up a kill on top of that? Collateral damage, picking up the kill on Slade. So that's a huge loss. Dragon down. Here's the Weaver's Wall. I don't know about this one. He takes a tower. Yeah, that was... we don't talk about that one.
Oh, he just ends up falling. I'm not sure what was going through his mind there, but he ends up taking the Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, a hail of MIA pings, I'm sure, have just come from the UofM side. We probably... a very questionable decision there. No one from Houston was actually nearby. They finished killing Slade. They were busy rotating towards the mid lane, and you just kind of Weaver's Wall to die. Oh, Sprinkles. Exactly. Getting rooted, and Zev, oh, he actually does get rooted as well, and they could possibly jump onto Zev here. Mertens going right in, there goes the stopwatch, and there's the wild growth as well, but everyone's kind of split away from Mertens as well. Zev does manage to get out, no he does not, he gets rooted out by Sprinkles, and here is Slade coming back, respawning from the fountain, picking up 2 more kills, and Harasym on the back line, looking so good for UofM, and will be a stun on the Sprinkles, he should be going down, and that's 3 men down for Zev in favor of UofM.
I was just about to say that fight was looking so good for University of Houston, but it turned, and one thing that I think definitely played a factor was the Ezreal 2-item power spike right there. He just hit his 2-item power spike, and he's probably 100 off his Murmana, and Vayne just could not do anything there, and that was a perfectly timed stopwatch there, and he ended up living for way longer than I think the University of Houston expected him to there, and very well played from the University of Manitoba.
I think when Houston decided to split up in like half the team was over the ledge and the other part of the team, which is like the damage, was in the river on the ramp. So the team kind of was split up, and then that allows Slade to respawn, run straight to the fight, get a lot of isolation damage in there. So I think if Houston moved more as a unit, if staying together as a 4-man pack, they probably would have came out of that fight. Because it doesn't allow Slade to just kind of come in like, oh, Kha'Zix came in, like, we're not isolated, just CC and kill him. But everyone else was kind of split off, and yeah, it kind of went downhill for Houston there.
Yeah, it got ugly very, very fast, and that was an unfortunate fight for the University of Houston. But I'd like to point out one quick thing, too, is that this lead in the mid lane has just grown more and more. Stormskillz is up about 75 CS right now, and he's definitely the hero of this game, in my opinion, right now. The shockwaves have been on point this game, and even his zoning with the shockwaves have just really helped the University of Manitoba, even UMB Slade with that isolation damage on the Kha'Zix as well.
Yeah, but it's an Infernal Dragon, one on each side. Very, very good deny that came from earlier. Ooh, Stormskillz hiding around the corner looking for a shockwave.
Ooh.
Chunks out Kim. Gonna have to force him to back up there. Maybe farm his... Oh, none of his jungle is even up. Gonna have to run all the way to Krugs. But, yeah, denying the second Infernal was a huge deal for the all-damage comp. Like, any 80 or AP you can get for free is... Hell yeah, let's do that. But... I think if you're in Houston's team right now, you just want to... Ooh, nice stun on to Stormskillz here, but he's got quite a bit of HP. Slade kind of coming right in, dropping it really slow, and they just managed to disengage out of that one. So it was only Mertens who was actually able to jump on the Stormskillz, and he needs to scale a little bit more. Get some, maybe doesn't even need a Blade of the Rune King. He can just go full crit. Rapid fire cannon next, and just alt tumble crit someone for probably like 80% of their HP.
Yeah, that might have been a bit of a misstep there from Stormskillz, but he ends up walking away, and just wasn't enough damage coming from Mertens to really make a difference there.
However, the Baron threat here is quite high. They do have the vision, but oh, they do get spotted out. There is that ward right there. But the damage is so high, and a lot of Houston are out of position here. 5k, 4k soon. Stormskillz looking to zone out 1,000 HP. I don't think Houston will be able to challenge up for this one. Hulk fam, no, and that goes to Smite. But the Weaver's Wall cutting everyone off, and here is Houston going to try and clean up the fight, pick off Stormskillz going to fall down. Mel Life being forced to flash, and she will not be getting away either. One more auto attack. Oh, the Summoner Spell heal for movement speed. And it's not going to be enough. Will she be able to get away with the Baron recall? Yes, she does. So that's totally worth for University of Manitoba trading 1 kill for the Baron buff. And now a gold lead is 5k in favor of UMB Manitoba.
Yeah, that was very well set up by the University of Manitoba. Even though they were spotted out by that ward, they had just pushed into the blue side jungle just enough to force the University of Houston back, and just walked right back to the Baron. Were able to burn that down very quickly with that isolation damage from Kha'Zix.
Yeah, and the part where Hugh plays showed up in the bot lane at that exact moment probably kind of really gave UofM the confidence to say, yeah, man, it's 5v4, she doesn't have TP. Oh, and look at that damage coming off from Harasym. Oh, yeah, not even close. Just tower dives, take like 4 tower shots, no big deal. Hugh plays is just too far behind right now. Doesn't have a stopwatch, doesn't have a Zhonya's, can't really do anything about it. But when the all-damage comp doesn't have a front line, and if they get wombo comboed, like, they just die really, really, really quickly.
Exactly, and another thing, too, is if this Vayne can get to a point in the game...
Oh, no.
I'll choose not to go on to it, but if this Vayne can get to a point where she's able to get to the late game, then there's not many threats that can really get on her, really, and she's got a lot of... appeal abilities, whether it's from the Lulu or the Maokai or even the Talia as well. So it's still something that they definitely need to look out for, but the University of Manitoba seems to be just commanding their lead here.
Yeah, I think in about 10 more minutes, oh, this is a nice stun over there. Zed being forced to flash away, and yeah, when you're getting accelerated by a Lulu as a Vayne like that, that's your wet dream. You get to get so much attack speed, so much movement speed, and you get a shield, like, you get all this peel. I think in terms of AD carry and for Vayne, and the best support that you want, it's a Lulu. You 100% want that Lulu.
Absolutely, and I think you put it best. It's definitely the Vayne's wet dream right there. There's nothing else that could go more right for that Vayne there. And
now that the Vayne gets a kill, you just got more gold on the person that will delete your whole team, and Vayne is a huge threat to an all-squish comp that has no CC. Like, they're only waiting for, like, the Shockwave or Camille Hookshot. That's the only time that you're going to be able to hold the Vayne down. And that's 2 very big things that you can watch out for. Like, no one can stand in the front for UofM. Like, despite the big gold lead here, 5k in favor of UofM, I would say they're the ones that are actually in trouble.
Yeah, there's this is still a very close game, even though it may look like the gold lead may give it a different version of events. One misstep in a team fight, and this can just be over very quickly.
Yeah, UofM are going to have to play this real cautious. They're going to have to force Houston to move around the map in such a way and like really abuse their vision right now with this Baron buff as well. So knock down as many turrets and maybe create a pick with all the damage they have. Hopefully Shockwave can just like 100 to 0 someone, but for now, I'd say they just need to, whatever lead they have, they only need to increase it by and as much as possible and as fast as possible. But if this game goes on for another 10-15 minutes, Houston will probably have the game in the bag.
Maybe, we'll just have to see. I'd like to point out again, Stormskillz is just so massively ahead of HuPlays. He's level 15 right now, and he's sitting on enough gold for his death cap as well if he chooses to go for it as well. Ooh, the Shockwave.
Goes on a huge plays, but bot lane also going for a fight. Stormskillz and Harasym just going at it. I actually don't think they will kill each other here.
No, but I think
can kind of get out pretty easily, and it's a bunch of shields. Lifesteal, yeah. Oh, no, they're actually gonna go for it, but Stormskillz is actually out of mana here. Oh, yeah, not easy.
Yeah, he just doesn't avoid the Maokai, sorry, the Nature's Grasp with the Hextech Ultimatum and just misses it. Just the range must have just been off by a little bit, or else he would have avoided that root there, and he might have been able to live as well.
Oh, and look at that damage going on, but Stormskillz in a lot of trouble, running out of mana, and gonna get caught out with the Seismic Shove as well. And this is a pretty big disaster for UofM. Like, the game is now gonna start slipping. Their solo laner got solo killed. The person with the 100 CS lead also just got picked off. So, not only do you lose the side lane priority, you just lost 2 towers and 2 carries. With the Vayne that gets to scale even more. Yeah, 3K goal lead in UofM, but I'd definitely say Houston is way ahead. Way ahead right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This Vayne is just going to keep scaling up and get more and more disgusting with the Lulu and the Graves as well. The University of Manitoba needs to find some way to play this macro game and play it well. Oh, Mel Life stepping up a little too far, and she's going to get
Oh, this is exactly what you want if you're the UofM. Mertens overextending for the Karma, and Slade just comes in and is like, oh man, he's not paying attention, not going to see this coming, and just picks off Mertens. So that was like probably the worst case scenario for Houston, is to lose their pretty much the only damage threat on the entire team. So I think UofM is just going to be able to control the map, if not just outright take this tower. But Stormskillz is not with team, does not have TP either, so it's gonna reduce a lot of the pressure and the siege potential coming up from UofM. Yeah, I decided to just like back away, take off more jungle.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. It did look like a very promising pick at the very beginning, getting that stun, but the exhaust came down at the perfect time, and just was able to, Mel Life was able to bait Mertens in there, and ends up falling. But they just end up pushing some sideways. Baron's coming up in 20 seconds. Drag followed up in a minute. So we'll just see what happens. I think they're just going to reset and look to get vision around Baron.
Dragon spawning in about a minute. Baron spawning pretty much right now. And yeah, as you said, just looking for vision right now. If I was Houston, you could probably just straight 5-5 team fight if you would. Oh, and well, root on Harasym, but decided to step away from that, and yeah, they're just clearing out all the vision here, and we're gonna see this Baron dance real soon. Maybe one team will decide to sneak a Baron in the middle of all that. So this is gonna come down a lot on the Stormskillz' Shockwave. If he lands even a 2-man Shockwave, I believe they can take the fight over. It really depends on what Mertens is up to, but his summoners are down. Harasym kind of getting a little ahead of the team right now, but the rest are disengaging. Ooh, that's a good chunk of damage. Ooh, huge plays. I don't know if he needed the flash right there, but making sure he doesn't die. So he decides to flash away, and here's UofM collapsing onto the Baron.
Yeah, and due to the fact that Hong Pham and Huiplays had to go back, they're currently way out of position for this, and burns the TP from Stormskillz right now.
And he actually completes it. I'm very surprised he completed that TP. Now the TP is down, but they can, I guess, look for more Baron vision here to really clear it out. I have no idea how this Baron dance is going to happen, because anyone can die. Like, there's so much damage on U of M's team that it's so explosive. Like someone dies, like they're dying almost instantly.
Exactly, and right now the U of M has some side lanes they need to deal with, but I think they could honestly just back off, maybe look towards the drag, but they seem to go off in their own ways, and we're back to square one again.
I think they're waiting for Vayne's summoner spells right here, just so she can. Oh, they're actually just gonna straight start onto the Baron here. I don't know about this decision. They're trying to go for. This looks like a 50-50, and this allows Stormskillz to position a Shockwave really deadly, and it doesn't actually catch onto 2 people. But it's all eyes are on the Mertens. Will he get away? Baron going on to Houston, and Mertens, he's looking to pick up a kill. They're gonna go on to Mel Life, and Mel Life is gonna get taken out. And Mertens is just on a killing spree, just killing everyone right now. With Harasym over on the wall, Kim gonna have to stay away from that one. But that's huge for Houston, picking up 2 kills and the Baron itself. So the 50-50 does pay off. And now U of M, this is more or less where they should start losing. Like their team comp just can't beat, or should not beat, what Houston has. And Mertens' flash is going to be up really soon as well. So once he has that, he's going to help reposition himself really easily in team fights for the 1 or 2 CCs that come from U of M.
Exactly, yeah, and this is very, very dangerous for the University of Manitoba right now. They were on a sort of a window, and that window has almost expired. I'm not sure what the University of Manitoba needs to do. I think they need to look for some sort of picks here, or a really, really good shockwave onto Mertens and Hong Pham at the same time to see if they can get anything going on here at all.
Well, on the bright side, the mid inhibitor didn't go down, so maybe it'll help with the U of M situation. But in the end, this is still like a worsening situation for the U of M. And now it comes down to, can Houston execute properly? Because they are now pretty much given the tools to win this game just with the team comp alone.
Exactly. And that Graves pick is coming in huge right now for the University of Houston. He's just about to finish his Maw of Malmortius and be able to survive from Stormskillz, who's the only person that's been able to threaten him this entire game.
And if we're gonna have to like look at team fights, you kind of don't look at the team fight of U of M because they don't really have one. No one can frontline, and here Mel Life is getting flash rooted by Sprinkles, and Cypher Shell follow up as well, and that's one of the squishies, one of the 5 squishies of U of M going down. And yeah, this mid inhibitor is not gonna see the light of day. Probably gonna rotate in the bot lane, but U of M top lane wave.
There you go.
It is pushing on to Houston, so at least that'll help out a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And they need to wait out this Baron buff and get Harasym into a side lane to fight nipple Sprinkles right away.
Well, we're gonna have to censor that one in the edit.
Yeah.
When the VOD goes up, it's gonna get leaked out. Just FYI. Way to drop the ball up there, man.
Yeah, I
were
totally
so close.
I honestly, as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, dang it, I even knew it.
Nice shockwave. Oh, Kim actually taking so many shields and heals right there with the wild growth as well, so he almost got 100-0 with, God bless the Maw, actually kicking in, saving his life right there, or the Hex Drinker. But now that the shockwave threat is down, that's pretty big. I actually think Houston can just kind of stick around here and stay with it. They can just keep sieging. Or they should be. They should. In my opinion, they should.
I guess they decide that the top lane pressure is just too much to handle. Oh, and they might get caught on the back here. Nope, they're just going to take the Blast Cone plant out, and they're gone.
I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to hit that Blast Cone while Sprinkles was on the right side of it and just kind of send him off to his death.
Oh, Nav, you play way too much solo queue, my friend.
That would be the evils.
That's why you're toxic in 400 game chat restriction.
I agree. Anyway, so back to the game. Even though the gold lead is in favor of U of M, Houston should win this game. If Shockwave threat is down, the team fight is definitely over. That's the only hope that U of M has is the one shockwave.
Exactly.
It's on cooldown, or Stormskillz is out of the fight's over, because then all that's left is a bunch of AD. Maokai's just gonna, with his full tank, doesn't even have any mana items, just straight armor and MR. Gargoyle, Stormplate, Thornmail, he's more or less unkillable in these team fights. Whoever he roots is gonna die from the damage of Mertens, unless the shockwave is, or the ball is in a prime position to zone Mertens out. But I don't think that'll happen. Locket coming out from Hong Fan as well, so it's going to really make things life difficult for U of M. And they're pretty much looking for a miracle fight here. Maybe if I don't know, someone gets caught and Mertens kind of just like, oh yeah, I can just kill this guy and burst him down, and then Slade comes and picks off Mertens again, just like last time in the jungle. But I don't think that'll be the case this time, as that's like the only way you could really lose the game. Why would you walk into that?
Exactly. And we're seeing a little bit of a skirmish here in the top lane as well. But that true damage is really impressive from the Camille, and I don't think Stormskillz can really deal with it. It looks like he's going to fall here.
Goes to root down, goes for the auto attack, and yeah, it's not going to be enough. He should die. So now, the 1v1 dueling potential is back for Harasym. And that's going to help out U of M a lot. So it's going to force Stormskillz to either group with the team or just kind of stay with a TP and like, oh man, I can't deal with this threat. Like, you guys got to force and engage. And the only form of engage is probably a Talia wall coming off from the side. But then, are you really grouped properly if you can shoot a wall sideways at them? Like, it doesn't just suddenly turn into a Vel'Koz queue. It just goes in a straight line from where your champion is.
Well, that would be busted if it did do that. Probably a rework confirmed 2018. Or leaked on stream.
Multiple levels of unfair. Oh, Harasym going right in. Kim's gonna get caught out, stun up, but they should be able to disengage from this one, as no frontline Slade just kind of baiting in, jumping right forward. But yeah, Dragon has spawned. Is this Elder? It is Elder.
Elder, and also Baron is also spawning at the exact same time, and right now they don't have any vision of this Elder, but they're running straight to the Baron.
I think they're gonna look for an objective trade here. Yeah, the whole team of Houston is moving upwards. Talia could use the Weaver's Wall to zone out the team.
Yeah,
but it looks like they're just
get it in time.
I think they're just looking for vision first. Yeah, they're looking for vision. I actually think they could have went for it.
Oh, 100% they could have went for this.
For the Baron, use the Weaver's Wall, cut off the whole team, join the team, get the Baron, and just trade objectives. But in the end, like, they don't even trade objectives. So now U of M is in a bit of a more of a prime position to take this game back from what was essentially a lost window, because now the Harasym can duel Stormskillz. It gives them a win condition, whereas they didn't have that win condition before.
Exactly, yeah.
So now they have to play with around the pressure that Harasym can create.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how they utilize this Elder Dragon. They need to prioritize vision around Baron right now, and Harasym is in the bot lane right now, pushing up that wave as far as he can because he knows that he can duel Stormskillz. Yeah,
and Stormskillz just kind of hovering around Baron, but someone's gonna have to deal with Harasym. Otherwise, he's just gonna take that inhibitor, and this is the game plan of UofMB. Like, yeah, they decided, like, Harasym, you're gonna have to split and take the game over, because we're just gonna have to fend off the rest of Houston. Here, they're gonna try and go for an inhibitor trade, and Stormskillz has gone into bot lane. Oh, Merton's get chunked out here. Inhibitor is still up. And Kim is just so low. Zam gonna try to take the game over. Oh, arcane shift forward. Merton's dropping out too real low. Here comes the redemption. Gonna heal up the team a little bit. But it looks like UofM wants to try and jump forward. There goes the arcane shift forward. Heal play dropping out so low. 10 HP. Dragon buff taking, but not gonna be enough. And Slade pick up the kill with a chilling the Stalker's Smite. Pick up the kill, but Stormskillz making his way to the fight. Harasym as well. But they're gonna have to try and disengage from this one. I think the Baron. Oh, there goes. The ult from Camille, and Stormskillz just knocked me. Oh, he flashes away, but still rooted. And he's so bloody tanky. Shockwave just for
goodness.
Stormskillz, just to take him out. Redemption come in, so U of M is just so healthy. They're going to pick up the Baron right now.
Yeah, raid boss down for sure. But yeah, the University of Manitoba is just going to turn towards this Baron, and let's see how they can pressure out the map with this. This is a pretty big swing of events, and also Stormskillz is dead for 40 more seconds too. So maybe they'll do something after this, but it looks like they're just gonna back actually.
So I think the real downfall is that they were just, I think they just took a bunch of Ezreal Qs, and maybe they took a Orianna command attack, but I'm not too sure how Kim and Martins got chunked out so many times. Like, it looked like they were going to go for the inhibitor, and then suddenly they lost half their HP, and Houston was retreating, and the TPs came in for... Oh no, Harasym didn't even TP, he just walked over to the fight.
Yeah, Stormskillz did end up burning that TP.
So here we have a window now for U of M. 9k gold, or yeah, 9k gold lead. The gold lead bigger than it was earlier. And Stormskillz level 18 versus the level 15 of Hugh plays.
Yeah, this has been a definite runaway in this mid lane, and every single one of these fights has just been based around this shockwave, and it's such an important cooldown, especially with this this team comp that the University of Manitoba is running right now. That if he can get that good shockwave, even zoning a lot of the enemy team from it, then looks
We're
like
going down on a Stormskillz, and he's in a lot of trouble. There goes the Weaver's Wall, zoning him out. No need to shockwave. He's just gonna go down. But oh man, Harasym gonna take an inhibitor on the bottom side in exchange. So definitely, I would say it's worth it. You have the Baron buff, and with one inhibitor down, you can just group on the other side of the map, and continue to threat for U of M. So if you were Houston, what would you do?
I think that they need to stop the bleeding is the basic part of it, and they need to just get back to the basics. That they need to find a good flank ward right now for Stormskillz right now, and they need to force a team fight. They need to force the team fight really, really hard, because they are going to win 5v5, but now that Harasym has gotten going, it's going to be very, very difficult to make any progress here at all.
Yeah, I think Houston is kind of in a... Sprinkle's going to get jumped on a little bit here, but I actually think this is a better fight for Houston. Sprinkle, this is the 5v5 that they would want, and Sprinkle's standing in the front line. There goes the charging roots forward, and yeah, they'll be able to disengage from that.
Yeah,
but
I think
the only person that can deal with Harasym right now, which is Mertens, he has to be with the team. He has to kill everyone else, and Hugh plays can't deal with Harasym either. So either you have your damage threat with the team, or you deal with the split pusher, and then you start losing your objectives, and it's kind of like a painful position to be in. Like the part where Stormskillz was winning the 1v1 against Harasym was a huge deal, and now that isn't happening, the swing has gone back in favor of U of M.
Exactly, and Harasym also finishing out that last whisper as well and putting it into the Mortal Reminder, and this will just continue to shred Stormskillz right now. His Q does so much true damage, it's disgusting right now. There's nothing that he can do to deal with this. I think he needs a Righteous Glory really badly, probably, to be honest, just to force something here, because this is just basically a duel that's not going to get him anything, and the University of Manitoba is just going to continue to take every single inhib here.
So now, since Stormskillz is off to the side trying to deal with Harasym, both teams are in the exact same situation where neither team has a frontliner. So the team with more poke will probably win out, and they conveniently have Ezreal, Orianna, and Karma to do that. Even Kha'Zix, he also pokes. Whereas from the other side, Vayne doesn't poke. Graves, he has Buckshot, and Blue doesn't really do damage with her Q, pretty easy to dodge, pretty short range, and Talia, pretty short range as well. So, Slade, taking a lot of damage. Here's the roots following everyone else is going to get rooted. Stormskillz in quite a bit of trouble as well. He's up in the front line. He's going to get rid of being forced to flash over the wall, and now Mel is going to get jumped on as well. Here is the chase as Merton's picking up a kill, and this is exactly the fight that Houston wants to go for, but holy Christ. Oh man, Sprinkles flashing forward here. Oh, and I think Stormskillz just got bounced over the wall, so he's in a lot of trouble as well for himself. Sprinkles dropping down in a lot of HP, has no more. Wolf going to get picked up from Zeb. And this is just a crazy, chaotic fight, but Kim continuing to chase forward, slow onto Kim, and yeah, that's a 2-for-1. So they're gonna stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, but in the meantime, if we look at the ball lane of the University of Houston's base, their towers are being hit right now, but it doesn't look like anything's gonna fall, but they need to keep an eye on this because this can get out of control really quickly if they leave it be.
So I think they really need to just funnel whatever farm they can into Hugh Plays. He's still down a level, and he's behind pretty much a whole item against Oriana. And once he does get his last item, he decides to go for a stopwatch. So he's going a little more defensive here. I don't know about that. I think you need to really be another AP threat, because you pretty much are the only AP threat, and I'd say going for the damage is much more crucial here.
Yeah, it looks like they're just a little short. It seems like I don't agree with that stopwatch buy at all. I think he absolutely needs a death cap here. He just needs some raw damage. There's not a lot of resistances on the side of the University of Manitoba.
Right, and since there's no frontliner, no one can really suck up that damage. So if her threaded volley is like just going at you, it's gonna do a hell of a lot of damage, and because there's no frontliner to just like block it. So just the Q itself is already a threat.
Exactly, and I really hope Sprinkles is itemizing towards this Righteous Glory right now, because I think this is exactly the item that the University of Houston needs. They need that engage just to jump onto someone, because no one can deal with this Maokai, really. He is just way too tanky, and he gives the rest of his team just enough time to catch up and deal enough damage to get rid of this squishy team from the University of Manitoba.
So while there is an 8K gold lead in favor of U of M, like it's all down to one big team fight, which by the book, U of Houston should excel at. They have the better team comp to team fight with, but it seems Shockwave goes wide, and but it is late game and there is a lot of CDR. That Shockwave should be up in like another 40 seconds. Baron is live though. Harasym taking down a bot inhibitor. That's a huge deal, and there's so much pressure. I think it's gonna force Houston into a bad situation where they either go for a fight or just go for the 50-50 Baron here.
Exactly. Harasym has a lot of options here. He can either look to go for that Elder and looks like that's exactly what he's doing. He started the Elder Dragon as well, while the University of Houston has started this Baron.
Weaver's Wall going for the zone. Shockwave is down, but Kim is just dropping down so low. Mob being forced to proc, and oh man, a command distance just does so much damage, forcing to back away. Houston is going to have to kite away from this one. They just don't have enough. Sprinkles, while he is, holy crap, he's something, and there's the Shockwave cooldown just coming right back up. But Kim does have a Guardian Angel, so he comes back to life. Sprinkles, Stone Plate is on cooldown, and that was a lot of damage coming through. And Sprinkles, I'm not too sure what he's still doing there. Should have left with his team, but here's Harasym going out for the engage, and Merton's just taking so much damage. His GA is being popped, and I think this is going to be a win for the U of M really soon. He's going to finish off the only damage threat. 2 inhibitors down, and Hugh Play is going to get jumped off from Harasym, and this should be GG. There's just finally the last team fight, 50 minutes in, triple kill for Stormskillz. And now the game is finally over. Well played on the map from the U of M, but a very valiant, nice draft from Houston, but just short on the delivery and execution.
Yeah, the University of Houston definitely had the tools to win that game, but they just fell a little short, and once Harasym was able to one egg right there, very impressive.
It gave a window of opportunity for U of M, and then U of M was like, oh yeah, we recognize that this is how we're going to win. We're going to use that pressure, and we're going to pull your tank away from the team, which is Sprinkles, and our poke is better than your poke, and there's no other frontliner to take the poke. So we're just going to win out in that outright regard.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what a long game too. Oh my goodness, 50-minute game. I am definitely exhausted to say the least.
All right, so congratulations to the U of M taking the match in 2-0. Apparently, first seed versus second seed here, so they take the top seed? Question mark?
I think so. We'll just have to see what happens in the rest of the bracket, but I'm pretty sure you are correct there, Van, that they do take the top seed in this bracket.